Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and the various precious humans of the world. Welcome back to Olivia Will Draw, because I'm Olivia, and I will draw things. It has been quite some time since I have attempted to draw in grayscale. And if you don't know what grayscale is, it is exactly what you think it is. It is drawing in grays. Basically, you're choosing a range of values between pure black and pure white to create all of these different grays in between. I have not done this in so long, so bear with me. I think the first time I really worked on this skill was way back when I first started drawing and didn't realize that this was something that I was actually practicing. Throughout high school, my teacher would make us do a lot of different pencil sketches and pencil valued art pieces, or just black and white pieces in general. I don't think that there was ever a time where I ever fully understood the range of values that I needed to achieve, but we do get there a little bit more in college once I start moving into the graphite world and understanding, there are deep dark tones and then there are very light values and just the way our eye perceives the world. And that, my friends, helps you further when you get into more color illustrations, because then you're able to flesh out and really understand where the light's coming from and able to make it look a little bit more realistic than if you weren't to practice this. I definitely think having those foundational skills and starting out that way has definitely helped me to grow in my color techniques and the way I approach color in illustrations. I will say I would absolutely love to try this process again and keep this in my regular routines of practices, especially because I feel like I approach this the way I would approach a normal illustration, which is blocking out the colors and then being very harsh with my shadows and lighting. I really wish I would have taken more of a painterly approach, because I think that would have really helped me understand the blend of lights and the blend of the gray better. But it is what it is. I'm very happy with the way it ends up, so I can't complain too much. For me personally, I will say the biggest lesson I've learned when working with grays is to really understand where your really dark points and your really light points are going to be, and then work from there. I think we easily get caught up in starting in a neutral and staying in those neutrals, but if you establish from the very beginning, okay, this is where I want the darkest part of the piece to be, and this is where I want the lightest part of the piece to be, it's much easier to work through that than starting from the middle and trying to work left to right. I first got inspired a few weeks back to really work on this technique through a TikTok trend that was going around, where you put your whole digital tablet or digital drawing program into blacks and whites and then randomize your colors and choose from there, just to see if you can work in those values and then have a grayscale to color image, which is pretty cool. I really like the idea of that, and I think it's fantastic. It was hurting my eyes, so I just went the old-fashioned way and chose the colors myself and chose the grayscales myself, which was much easier for me personally. Especially with this being my first time around or trying this again, give me a break. It works. But I will say the whole piece was inspired by my boyfriend's birthday. This is us in a mafia-esque sort of vibe, because I wanted to draw us he just turned 25. Happy birthday. Love you, dear. You're great. but I wanted to do something kind of cool and something he would be like, oh, that's epic. I will say the nicest part about this process is really not having to worry about the colors. I feel like oftentimes, myself at least, I get very stuck up and hung up on color theory and trying to figure out, oh, why does this color and tone work with that, and why doesn't that work with this, but this works here, but that's not working there. So it's really nice to just be able to like turn your brain off for a second and solely worry about lighting, and without having to add the whole extra pressure of color. Now, I'm no master painter or master artist by any means. This is solely for my own practice, and I think the biggest thing I learned through this was trying to figure out really where to push the values in darkness and lightness. And I definitely think that this has improved in all facets of my other art, just taking the time to really understand how values work and where shadows and light really shine through in the piece to help the illustration not look so flat. Training your eye to be able to see those different values and just practicing that skill is so incredibly important in my opinion, just because unless you're trying to do flat art, then live your best life, do whatever you want, that's totally fine. But if you really want your piece to look a little bit more rounded and three-dimensional, I think values and studying values is really important from the very beginning. So if you haven't practiced values in a long time, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I think the other thing that really helps me as well in digital or traditional art is either zooming out or backing up away from the piece. I think we get very caught into the super tiny details that most of the time you can't even see if you take a step or two backwards. But being able to block out those very large different colors or values in this case really helps you to see if you're actually having drastic enough values in your work to be able to be seen from far away. Because if you can see them from far away, you're definitely going to be able to see them up close. So I highly recommend this, is zooming out from your work, really taking in the full piece instead of that super tiny little picture frame that no one's going to really be able to see anyway. But being able to train your eye to see those different values further back is going to help you a lot more in the long run. I think whether you're a beginner or you are far into your art career, I think it's always important to just take time every once in a while to really brush up on old techniques that you don't really do anymore or don't practice anymore. There's really no perfect artist, and I think brushing up on old techniques and practices really helps you to freshen up the way you approach your art and the way you perceive other people's art, honestly. Thank you so much for watching this speed paint. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you don't, that's okay too. You can always find me on other socials that you're more about. But that's all I have for you guys this week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!